Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Ipswich Buses pre-game show. I'm, of course, your host, Martin the Garver Lambert. I'm looking forward to spending the next couple of hours with you as Ipswich Town travel to South Yorkshire to take on Doncaster, who, will be confident after beating managerless Sunderland. But we need a win tonight, quite frankly, from our boys in. I think they're going to be playing the white, but somebody in the chat will for sure let me know on that one. Let me just check. Let me just change the background. There we go. It's an old thumbnail, but it is more of a match day ticket feel. Don't forget, you can watch last night's Talking Town extra time if the game is that bad. Got James Norwood still on the platform. Craig Forrest from Sunday. Such good feedback on both of those shows. Thank you so much. And I am still on the old milkshake, because Lambert's tonsillitis is rampant this evening. I feel like as rough as a badger's backside. Adam, good evening, everyone. Sound 3-1 tonight. Got a good feeling about this one. Simon hopes Adam needs some help from above. Few to make the feature will be a bonus. Yeah, in an ideal world, I firmly believe this. In an ideal world, MK Dons would lose. We would win, setting up a possible 5-pointer at Stadium MK on Saturday. Ideal world. Jeremy Lowe getting in nice and early with £1.79 and £8.99. Jeremy leading the way. Salute you, sir. All the way from wonderful Felixstowe. Thank you ever so much. I truly appreciate that. He also says Doncaster will not roll over like they did at our ground, but I still think we'll win. I said 2-3 yesterday, but on a second thought, I'll go for a 4-0. In the space of a day, he's got more confident. You can follow Jeremy's wonderful leading by example, the George Edmondson of the chat so far, by doing a super sticker, super chat, or become a YouTube member. $4.99 makes every show worth about 20p. You ain't going to get better value than that at all, particularly with the content. James Norwood, Craig Forrest, them two shares alone are worth more than $4.99. But yeah, join the family. Mike D, who is a YouTube member. Evening all. Time for Celine to make something happen for a change. Absolutely. Team along the bottom. Manalos, welcome in. Manalos is loving the team. Michael Mayhew looks like a good team tonight. Stuart Furniston, what is up with Aluko? Not making the team again. He's on the bench. Joe Pickett goes from starting 11 to out of the 18 altogether. But welcome to, heavy rotation, I guess. Ben's in the chat. We love it. Tommy Brooks, come on, you blue boys. Tune in to the mighty town. And Colin Plum. Good evening, Gov. Good evening, Colin. Right, let's kick things off with somebody who hopefully this is not how tonight we will dominate Doncaster, unlike what he thinks about our general play normally.
Wake up to the wow. Wake up to the money, turn me right on. You look like you got dressed with no lights on. A Superman that spin like a cyclone. Fit check spin like a cyclone. Wake up to the money, turn me right on.
Yeah, but we're crap. We're not going to dominate any team.
Well, hopefully tonight is the night we do dominate somebody, as we did at Portman Road. Mr. Neil Positivity Moles, welcome. The big question on the town fans' lips this evening, and it's a question that needs answering, needs addressing. Will you stay awake?
I think I know what... Yeah, I knew that was coming. Let's see what the game's like, shall we?
See what the game is like. Will Neil Moles make it to full time? So far, his record is a little bit patchy. Mike D's gutted, Neil, that Carl Edwards hasn't got a chance. Carl Edwards hasn't got a chance, not even inside the 18. You surprised at that, having seen the player feature for the last 20 or so on Saturday? From that to not even an 18?
In some ways, he's a talented player. So you think on that alone, he can turn a game. But on the flip side, we've seen his poor delivery when it matters most. And yeah, we're not privy to the manager and his conversations, what's gone on. So, yeah, whether he's asked him hit this level and then, basically
Absolutely.
work hard for me, and yeah, we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, well, this is it. And obviously, Joe Pigott, as Paul P says, I don't rate Pigott on Saturday, or didn't rate Pigott on Saturday, but to not even make the bench unless injured is weird. McKenna, heavy rotator, clearly, because Aluko was out of the 18, now back on the bench. Pigott started, now out of the 18. Is that the rotation of the striker force? Because you've got so many options from Caden to James to McCaulay to Joe that you're just going to see that, because Caden Jackson wasn't in the 18, for example, on Saturday. Is that the way to go, do you feel, or do you disagree? And actually, you would like to have seen Joe make the bench this evening?
Well, we sort of want to see Pigott at least make the bench, because we would like to see him get onto the pitch, because we're yet to actually see anything that resembles what we should have bought.
Yeah, no, well, that's true. Yeah, it's a big goal scorer last year, hasn't done it, and there are going to be some fans that aren't too dismayed about not seeing Joe Pigott inside the 18. Let's be honest. Not everybody's going to be surprised or disappointed, because for those very reasons alone. We've got.
Yeah, I think I can. It's more looking beyond that. We want players to succeed. We've paid for them, so we want them to be able to deliver on the level that we expected.
Absolutely. Well, before I bring in Steve, a few more comments. What Mike the Fishman, Nor off the bench is better than Jackson or Pig. Graham Tate asks, why is Nor on the bench? K-Mac equals Paul Lambeth. Mike D, people say Edwards can't cross, neither can Burns. You can only drive a ball low. The team as a whole can't really cross. Hastings out Carl. Jeremy, no. Going one further, now becoming a YouTube member. Jeremy, thank you. So I've just been sent this picture by contributor Graham Brook. Look who's in attendance this evening, boys and girls. Ollie Solskjaer is in attendance. Absolutely. So what do you make of that? Ollie in attendance, backing up his mate Kieran McKenna.
I've got nothing against Ollie, so it's nice to have him around.
As Graham just said, he was honoured. I let him have a photo with me. Graham, we love you. Never, ever, ever change. Aficionado Stephen Thompson, welcome in. Hello. That is a beautiful shirt. The moment I see that shirt, I get Darren Curry vibes.
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be. What's a shirt? It's one of my favourite away shirts. Love it.
Neil, look at that shirt. First player that comes to mind.
It was Alan Marn under that shirt as well.
Ooh, he may well have been, actually. That is a tasty shout. Let us know in the chat who's the first player that comes to your mind when you see the quality shirt that is the one that Steve was wearing. Steve, you are a connoisseur of the shirts. You would keep looking to what I've got as a giveaway coming up soon, because you're going to love it, I reckon. Oh, yeah. Adam says, Ollie, new striking coach. Tom, Ollie gonna watch a town win. Evening all. That needs work, that, Tom, to be fair. Heidi is currently sat on an Ipswich bus with the driver taking the wrong way. I just want to get home from work. Heidi, I cannot take responsibility for the Ipswich buses taking you the wrong way, but I do reckon Ipswich Buses, your local bus company. No, I'm not going to play the whole thing, don't worry. Ipswich Buses, your local bus company, driving you the wrong port. I'm sure they're not going the wrong way, Heidi. Right, tonight, Doncaster, you've seen the team. What are we saying?
Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. I was quite happy with that. Surprised to see Pigott. I know you've already touched on it. Surprised to see Pigott not even make the bench. But yeah, I'm guessing that's not Bailey's in that glass either. Looks like it. I bet it's not.
It's milkshake.
Yeah, not quite a Bailey's.
I've got tonsillitis. Only time you'll see me drinking milkshakes after a McDonald's, or I've got tonsillitis.
Nice.
The question on everyone's lips, though, Martin, is it bringing the boys to the yard?
Not well, vanilla would, but Tesco have stopped doing vanilla in the sizes I want, sadly. But anyway, back to the football, you two. Look at these two. You give them an inch, they take a mile. Let's run through the team. How do we see this lining up then, guys? What do we think? Is it 4-2-3-1, 3-5-2? Is it Chaplin off Bond? Is it Selena off Bond? It must be a 4-2-3-1 with not a second striker as such, Steve.
You'd think so. I wouldn't put anything past them. It's tricky, isn't it? Because no two strikers. I don't know. I don't know where to start, really. I'm happy with who's playing, but I don't know where to start in terms of formation.
Okay, let's go 4-2-3-1. Who's playing off Bond for you? Is it? Hang on, before we go any further, actually, I have forgot. Nathan Sykes, is there a halftime show tonight? Well, I'm feeling absolute dog, Nathan. So my initial reaction to that is no, just because it hurts when I talk. But there's 150 of you watching. If I can get 100 likes, I'll do a halftime show. There you go. What can I say? I'm a whore for likes.
He'll take his shirt off.
That's more 200 sort of like territory. Let's be honest. But yeah, 100 likes. We'll do a halftime show. So who's it for you and Steve? I'll ask you the same question in a second. Go on, Go on. Hang on. What were you going to say?
Do you really believe it's going to be a back four and not a back three?
I do, because if it's a well, it could be a 3-4-3 as Mike D said. Funnily enough, when I looked at the heat map and looked at some footage from Saturday, I actually think we were playing a 3-1-4-2 at times, quite a bit, and that could be because Gillingham were pretty poor camp men behind the box. So what Mike D says there, it could be true there, Steve. 3-4-3, which would be what? How would you play that, a 3-4-3 with the personnel you've got?
It would be 3-4-3, probably Bond in the centre, Chaplin one side, Selena.
Where's Burns going to play? That's the issue. Neil, what would you do? Because you'd imagine.
Well,
Burns
you've got
right wing.
You've got the real difficult chart. Joyce is Walton in goal, and then you've got the standard back three of Doncaster and Wolfden and Edmondson.
Which is what you have.
And then you've got Burns out one side and Thompson out the other, and then you've got Evans and Backinson, and then you can have Selena and Chaplin ahead of them, where they can roam in around. They can move out wide, come inside, and then sort of swap between who's closest to Bond.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout. It could be fairly accurate. For me, it'd be Evans as the holder, Chaplin and Backinson as the two guys to go up and get involved, Bond up top, Burns on the right, Thompson on the left, Selena in that inside left position that James Norwood was occupying so often on Saturday. So I'll write it down very quickly so I can show it on the screen. You got Walton, and you got the back three of Doncaster, Edmondson, Wolfenden, not in that order necessarily, but that's the order that came to my mind. Then you got Evans as the pivot, Chaplin, Backinson, Burns, Selena, Thompson, Bond. So that's what I think it'll probably end up like in possession.
Yep.
There's Bond, Selena in that inside left position, and the two guys here just tasked to go and get involved and be a menace. I would have said, Steve, and make things happen. Do you think that's because that's what it was more times than not, according to my data on Saturday? Would you expect the same thing? Because I suppose it comes down to what you're expecting from Doncaster, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because when we put 6 past them last time, I don't think we're going to put 6 past them again tonight. It'd be a very similar sort of situation to Gillingham. They're a new team, new manager for that team. I don't know really what to expect for them tonight. I expect them to maybe sit a little bit behind the ball, similar to Gillingham. I think we still get a few past them because we know obviously what Bond can do. We know what Burns is capable of. We know what Selena and Chaplin can do. So we're definitely still the stronger of the two sides. Absolutely.
Absolutely. What are you expecting from Doncaster tonight? Now, are you expecting to be able to go and put your stamp on the game, or are you expecting them after beating a manager of Sunderland a little bit more confidence, and they might be on the front foot being the home team?
I don't really know how good Doncaster are, but
they are bottom or second from bottom. So they're just beating Sunderland. That's the only. I think that's the only one they've had in a couple of weeks. Let me just get the league table up for you. But yeah, Doncaster are no great shakes. Beat them 6-0 earlier in the campaign. What do you expect them from them? They're just beating Sunderland, who are above us in the table. Kieran McKenna himself said they'll be confident. Doncaster, they've won 2 of the last 5, 22 points, rock bottom. They have conceded 58 goals and scored 22. Just for contrast, we have scored 48 and conceded 38.
So we are looking at a little bit of a Gillingham type game.
Yeah. Stephanie writes, don't care about the man of the win, just don't care about scrappy, just want to see a win. Would you take Joe ITFC? Donny is sick. Yeah, that were not sick in the way the kids say sick these days, I don't think, Joe. I think, yeah, sick as in relegation might cure them. Okay, no problem. So what are we thinking? Ollie and Carrot, yes, we know, Crunch. We beat you to it. We've already shown the picture, son. We've all, look at that, look. Head of the old Cruncher boys on the breaking news. So what are you putting from Doncaster then, Neil?
Well, they've taken it to Sunderland, so they'll be trying to ride high on that one. Go again and see what they can do. Another upset, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Try and get their chances to stay in this division. But yeah, they'll be key. At the very least, they'll be trying to keep tight. So I dare say we'll have a lot of possession like we have in pretty much most of the games that we've had under McKenna.
Paul P, Steve, we need to impose ourselves on the game and play our tempo, not Doncasters. Do you want to add on to that point?
Yeah, definitely agree. There's been times obviously in the past you sort of sit back a little bit, invite the other team into the game. They end up dictating it. Even if we have got more of the possession, we end up playing more their way. And it can get sloppy. We know that our defence can be leaky at times. It's been better of late. But yeah, start strong, start on the front foot, play our tempo, make them play our way. Definitely.
Absolutely. Cruncher's seen the pig on the bus. Is that good? Welcoming the good doctor. Ben, Bond will be here in the summer, he reckons. Neil, would be happy to keep Bond. Would you be happy to keep Bond in the summer, Neil?
I wouldn't say we have got better than him. So as a absolute, that is your low level player that you go from, and then potentially get someone else that can try and, if you have two players that can push each other to score lots of goals or help set each other up, then yeah, that's where we need to sort of spring on from. But yeah,
that said,
it depends.
Go on.
It depends what ideas the club have. Whether, yeah.
But I was just add on to that point and say, it depends. You say that. Many will say sign him, such as Neil Perks and co. Adam, though, Steve, YouTube member, says we need to get a proven goal scorer. Bond's got to go.
I think he is making himself a proven goal scorer. He's going through a bit of a drought at the minute, but most strikers do. He's been brilliant this season. Obviously, the past few games have been a bit of a struggle, but yeah, I'll be happy to keep him in the summer and into next season, whether we stay up or go up, or stay in League One. It's all well and good sort of having a player that's there and he loves the club. That's great to see, but it's nice to see them sort of back it up with form. And if he can just find that form again, I think it'll be brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree.
He needs to end this drought because he is. I can't think of a striker I'd rather start right now that we've got than him. To be honest,
is it an important game for McCaulay Bond in the sense of obviously Doncaster shipping that many goals? This is a great opportunity for him to start scoring again.
I think so. There are tougher games obviously on the horizon, but this one right now, yeah, they're quite leaky, and it's obviously going to play on his mind that he's not on the same run that he was at the start of the season. So if he can get a goal or two tonight, I think it will lift that sort of that cloud. And he might, because obviously, like I say, there are tougher games coming. We're going to need goal scorers. And if he can find that form again, thanks to tonight, then brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to sort of highlight, if you like, and it's because, Neil, many people say, he's going through a goal drought. He's not scoring as many goals as he needs to. And they could be right. He hasn't scored recently. He is going through what you would probably call a bit of a drought. But what you may be surprised to find out if I show you the League One top goal scorers is actually there's only 6 players rather, ahead of McCaulay Bond in the goal scoring charts. Now, a bit sickening is the fact Will King's 4th, but we'll ignore the fact it's Will King. Does that actually highlight? Yes, he had just how fantastic a start he had in the sense of he had a great start, gone through a goal drought, but on average, he's still a fairly decent, if not really good, League One centre forward.
Yeah, that's the problem, though, isn't it? we're saying that he's a half decent League One centre forward. What we really want is someone that's going to smash League One.
But who would that be? Because you look at the goals scored. Stockton's on 18. Ross Stewart's on 18. I mean, you could argue Morecambe benefit from being the underdog in a lot of teams. Perhaps they have a bit more space to operate in. Just look at Saturday's game, for example, Neil. Gillingham, 11 blokes behind the ball, no space. You know, he's got 12 goals in a team which many consider to be a top 2 side. He's young, he's developing. I would go as far as to say, what more do you want out of him at this point, with the rotation and everything?
Yeah. Well, as far as it goes with Bond, he just needs to try and get on the score sheet again, doesn't he?
He does.
We've had Burns and Chaplin come up with the goods because he hasn't. So maybe it's time for him to step up again.
Okay, last 3 minutes before we do our bold predictions. I want to pick up on Tony Bylett's point. Great point, Tony. Thanks for raising it. Has McKenna yet kept the same 11? Does he know his best team yet, Steve?
I don't think he has he? And
he hasn't. But is that not because of the policy of treating each game as it comes on its merits? You know, Doncaster perhaps do different things at home to Gillingham do away, so we need different tools for the job.
Possibly, but it does feel like he doesn't quite know his best 11 yet. I mean, there's a couple who you can almost think are going to be nailed on starters. You know, Walton, Edmondson, Wolfie when he comes back, Morsey. But yeah, everyone else seems chopping and changing. You got Aluko in and out, and then Bon, Piggott, Norwood. It's a tricky one. But I think the good thing with us is we are sort of blessed with all these decent, talented players, which is brilliant. But yeah, I'd have thought he would have maybe kept a more similar 11 by now. This is his 8th game in charge. So
absolutely. If you want a halftime show, guys, we need 26 more likes before the show ends in 3 minutes' time. We need 26 more likes. That is absolutely nothing for the 140 currently watching on YouTube. The ones watching on Facebook, you sadly can't help us because you're on Facebook. But the ones on YouTube, if you want a halftime show, do not let your Facebook friends down. I'm actually going to go a bit further, Neil, and say I like the fact he's not kept the same 11. I like that because we were criticising Paul Cook for being stubborn, sticking to a formation, sticking to maybe personnel. Previous managers we've been criticised. We've criticised for sticking to people when they shouldn't have done. This is a breath of fresh air because every player knows where they are and they know you're not dropped because of bad form or falling out or whatever. You're dropped, if you can call it that, because we're playing a different team and we need a different way of winning today.
Yeah, I think it's a nice way of being able to keep all your players happy. I saw that Burgess is on the bench, so you know he's kept quite a similar defence as such. So that's somewhere he hasn't changed.
Absolutely. 7 likes away, 1 minute to go. Neil, bold prediction, please. Sorry, the time has crept up on me. Bold prediction for today, please.
2-1.
2-1. Okay. Neil, Steve, your bold prediction, please.
3-0 Town.
3. Oh, I love that. Absolutely love it. Right.
Really good.
Last 30 seconds. We've got 93 likes. I've just refreshed the page. We have got 93. Still 6 away. By the time the outro finishes playing, if it's not 100, I'm going to rest my tonsils. 2-0 says Rob, 3-1 says Matt Stannard, and 7-0 says Michael Yorston. Right, whether we see you at halftime is down to you. It's creeping up. You got until the end of the outro. 5 more likes. If not, we'll see you at full time.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.
We've done it. We're back at halftime.